I'm live, y'all. I think. Yes, I am live. Whoa, so cool. All right. I don't think I've done it. Oh, here I am. All right, y'all. I just shared like 15 minutes ago that I'm going live, so I'm giving it a few minutes for y'all to hop on. Hello. If you could type in the chat box where you're tuning in from. I can't really see who's on here. I just see that there are people watching. I don't know if there's a way that I can change that. I sound like a complete noob. Jessica! Yeah, going live on the laptop is totally different from the phone. Um, Happy Friday. Happy second week of October. Happy fall. And I honestly don't remember the last time I went live, except probably during a Lions Den class pre pandemic. Um, But get cozy. I actually want to do a quick meditation to just ground us into the present moment and to share this side of myself. As you know, like Facebook was the first like real platform that a lot of us got on. And I'm heavily active on Instagram and not so much my Facebook. And so a lot of people on here, I don't know, probably know me from like ODU or church or dance, honestly. And I get so distracted. There's like so many notifications going off right now. But please type in the chat box so I know I'm not alone. I'm really sad I can't see like who's popping on. This like really blows me a little bit. But thank you, Jessica. So a couple things, just so you know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do like a quick uh, grounding, and then I'm gonna share like what I've been up to and invite you to this 5 day virtual retreat that I'm hosting October 19th. Okay, so if you are in a safe space, I invite you to close the eyes. Whew, close the eyes. Maybe you're on a couch like I am. Um, as we would say, take your nice, comfortable seat and find your nice, neutral spine. So I invite you to do that right now. Just softening around the face, around the jaw, and allowing the shoulders to melt into the back. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And again, inhaling through the nose. You can exhale out the nose or out the mouth. And if you don't know what to bring your attention to, just focus on the inhale and the exhale. That immediately anchors us into the present moment. And just notice any tightness or tension in the body. Feel free to take a little neck roll. I have a little crook in my neck, so I have to be a little careful. But just taking this moment to take care of the body. Maybe soften in the jaw. Sometimes I like to take my fingers and just draw it down the front of my neck and the sides. Just take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for showing up to another day, for doing the work, right? Maybe you're at work right now or you're at home and it's completely chaotic. But the power of just closing our eyes, pausing, even just for a few minutes. I needed to do this today. Perhaps you did too. And as we start to just close our grounding practice, take a moment and think about, how do you want to feel at the end of this Friday, at the end of this day, whenever you're watching this? How do you want to feel physically, mentally, energetically, emotionally? How do you want to feel? I know for me, on Fridays, I want to feel present with my family or my friend, whoever I'm with. I want to let go of the week. I want to stop thinking creatively about my business, about the things on my to-do list, and I want to unwind. I know that I want to feel fruitful, like I want to feel happy about the past 5 days. So just taking a moment of, what is one thing or two things you need to do to feel that way? Breathing in and breathing out. And then as we close, just take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And take a nice long inhale and exhale. And just saying, I trust myself. I trust that everything that needs to get done will get done. I trust that whatever doesn't get finished will be done either tomorrow or next week. And that the world will continue on regardless if I did it or not. Sealing this with one last breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And then slowly release your hands, open up the eyes, take in the space. What's up, sweet friends? Oh, the Kaleo, I miss you so much. Thank you. Man, West Coast heavy up in this chat. Heavy. All right, so I just took you through kind of like a quick grounding, a quick meditation and visualization. So the purpose of this call was, well, I am challenging myself to show up more on video, and you'd think that's something that I would be naturally inclined to do, but it just requires more effort sometimes. I think I make it a bigger thing than it actually is. And I wanted to invite you to this virtual retreat that I'm hosting October 19th through the 23rd. I don't know if I can type in this chat. Yes, I can. So it's called Root to Rise, and I'm putting it here in the chat. I can't really type and talk at the same time. Let's look at that. I created it last month. So I did the first one last month in September, and it was amazing. Fatima, people said their lives were changed. People said that they were so inspired to take action. People said that they looked at their mornings a different way. So Root to Rise is a morning retreat. It happens at like 7:30 in the morning. At least it did in September. The one that's happening in October starting at 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I know that I want to take care of my West Coast folks, so that's something that I'm going to work on for the future. But I do have a few Cali folks signed up, so that means they're going to be logging on to the computer at 4:15 a.m. So yeah, I just felt like in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of our political climate, our social climate, that a lot of us just needed a reset, a reboot in our daily routine, especially for those where it's blurred lines of work and home and family and play all in the same space. So for me, like I've been teaching virtually movement classes primarily, and it's all here in my one bedroom condo. And so I've had to really get clear on how to energetically transition in my day. And for complete transparency, I do suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's an autoimmune disease. It's basically there's no cure. And a big downfall of that is fatigue. And my diet obviously has a lot to do with that. I'm very sensitive to gluten, to dairy, and I have not made that life switch to completely get rid of those ingredients in my diet. So I wanted to share how I reset and refuel throughout the day. And what I led you through in the beginning of this Facebook Live is what it would look like on this retreat. We start grounded. We start with a meditation or visualization just to unplug. I like to say to tune out to tune in, to let go of everything that's kind of just pulling and tugging at our attention. And then we do some movement too, right? So, movement, we all know this has the power to shift our mood, to boost creativity, to boost focus. And same thing with meditation. So I've wanted to blend all these things that I love, all these modalities that are near and dear to my heart. So movement, mindfulness, and positive psychology. So I'm also certified in positive psychology, and there's a lot of tools and exercises that I have found so helpful as far as helping me regulate my emotions, helping me to build my resilient skill set so that I can bounce back from anything, right? And then the power of writing. I am an avid journaler. I've been journaling for many, 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 many years since I was probably in the sixth grade, fifth grade, sooner than that, I don't know. But I've been writing every single day for the past 2 to 3 years. Yes, I'll skip a day on days where I didn't make time for it, but for the most part, I've been pretty consistent. And oftentimes when we hear journaling, we think like diary, oh, this is, or we think documentary. Hey, Rob, I miss you too. But really, like the power of journaling is unpacking everything that's going on in here and putting it onto paper. And what it does is it creates clarity for me. It creates clarity on the millions of ideas that I have in my head every single day, right? It creates clarity on how I'm actually feeling emotionally, physically, right? If I can know what's happening here and here, I am better equipped to show up the way that would serve me and others better, right? A lot of us are operating and running through life as we would call on autopilot. So autopilot, like just reacting and responding to every text message or, any email that comes through, like I have to answer it right then and there, or any, phone call, I have to stop what I'm doing and answer this phone call. And it's like, no, like we really have to harness our energy and our attention, because if we don't, before you know it, the day is over and you didn't take care of yourself. You didn't actually do the things that you said you wanted to do. And so that's where Root to Rise comes from, is we have these dedicated 5 days in the morning, showing up to each other, holding each other accountable. And then I share on different topics every day. So for this next one, some of the topics that we're going over is perfectionism. Like, how is that showing up in our daily life? How is that showing up in my relationships? How is that showing up in holding myself accountable? Another topic is redefining work, right? So I've been on this crazy journey. Like a lot of y'all knew me for dancing, right? Like I still dance. I'm still a choreographer. I'm still an artist at heart. That is never going to change. But my interests and my passions and my calling has shifted within that. And so I know that there are a lot of us that look at work as like something that we just need to get through. Like, okay, I'm just going to put in my 40 hours every week. I'm just going to work so hard, grind so hard until I can get that vacation. And it's like, no, like what if we flipped how we looked at work? What if we looked at work as something that we are fulfilling our purpose? We are stepping into the gifts that we've been given, and we're serving at our highest capacity. And I know that can be difficult, especially if you're in a job that you don't intend to be at for a long time, or you feel like it's just a placeholder. I want you to know that even though that it's a placeholder, there's a reason for that season, and that it literally is getting you closer and closer to where you're supposed to be. Right? So I've worked in a church, I have worked in a credit union, I have worked on a government contract, I have um, worked in a restaurant. I have run like a brick and mortar. Miss you too, Judith. You're killing it. Um, all of these things, like outside looking in, it's gonna look like I was all over the place. But now, fast forward to where I'm at right now, it was like I learned so much in each of those jobs. I met the people that I needed to meet in each of those jobs. Um, I learned the things that I needed to learn in order to do what I'm doing now. And um, and so for the longest time, I wasn't fully stepping into this identity of being an entrepreneur. Like that's what I am. That's what I do. That's what I've been naturally doing since I was a kid. And there was just no verbiage for it. There wasn't really a lot of um, education around it, right? And I know to my parents, right, I probably looked like, oh, my dad used to call me a leaf in the wind. I will never forget that. And I was like really insulted when he first said that. And I know he meant well, right? Our parents want us to do well, right? And a lot of our parents came to the United States so that we could have a better life. So they're coming from a mentality and a headspace of like survival mode. I know I'm going into so many topics. I didn't even like have anything written for this live, but this is where the spirit is taking me. Exactly, Judith. You know this. I mean, every dancer, every choreographer is an entrepreneur, and some of them just don't know it yet. That's the thing, is like you are a business owner. You are running a business, you are marketing your own brand. Yeah. And you're killing it, Judith. It's so good to see you on here. I'm going to have to like DM you about bringing you to the Lions Den virtually. So that's the one beauty of this pandemic was now we can have teachers from all over teach at the Den. So I kind of forgot what I was talking about before that. Yeah, that's kind of how my brain is. Um, but yeah, it was going back to the topics that I'm sharing on in this retreat. That's where it was. Another topic is gratitude. Oftentimes we think of gratitude as just like, oh, I'm grateful for this. Boom, done. No, like what is beyond the I'm just grateful for this, right? So positive psychology has taught me to think about how I've contributed to the things that I'm grateful for. So an example that I really love to use was making a cup of coffee, right? So I write down, okay, I'm grateful for coffee. How did I contribute to that cup of coffee? Well, I got my butt up from the bed. I walked to the kitchen. I picked out my coffee. I put it in the machine. Boom. So I actually contributed to those things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my fiance. How did I contribute to that? By showing up for him every day and loving him. By being a good friend, by being a good listener. And so oftentimes we're grateful for these things, but we feel disconnected, right? Or there's this other layer where we feel guilt about being grateful for things because our world is a complete shit show right now, right? Don't feel guilty. Do not feel guilty, right? Everything we have right now is a blessing, right? So it's just kind of flipping those topics on its head and integrating movement, mindfulness, and journaling exercises. And the last one was amazing. Um, we had 20 people signed up, but roughly like about 21 to 22 people showed up every morning, and it was this beautiful like community. We just felt so connected in 5 days. And so this is my invitation for you. If you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling uninspired, if you are feeling unmotivated, and you just need some accountability, I invite you to click the link that I posted. It's called Root to Rise, or just DM me. It's happening October 19th through the 23rd, but registration is closing next Friday. So I will come on live again next Friday to share more with you. Perhaps I'll do this more often. I don't know. I was so nervous, right? Just the idea of like going live. But now that I'm on here, it's like I feel that I'm in a state of flow. Like this is stuff that I'm passionate about. And so, yeah, I just want to thank you for joining me, for chatting here, making me feel less alone. I love you, Fatima. Or if you want to hang out with me for 5 days, yes. um, it was so cool to like start the day on Zoom with like so many beautiful faces and a very, very, very diverse group. So, yeah, we're almost at capacity for the next one. So I want to invite you now. I only have 6 more spots open. I don't want to make it too big that it feels like a webinar. I still want to have this nice intimacy within those 5 days. So if you know someone that needs this, share this with them. I have a newsletter that I send out every week. If you're interested in joining or subscribing to my newsletter, just click my website link in my Facebook bio. And I will try to be more present here on Facebook. Like, Facebook is the initial, like, original OG, right, of social media. And this is where a lot of my family members are, a lot of my church folk are, dance fam, obviously. So, whoo, I just spoke for 20 minutes straight. I'm happy to answer any questions or feedback. I've been responding in real time, I think. Um, yeah, I don't know who else is here because I can't see it, but if you know anyone that would love something like this, or you want to give the gift of love, I love Jessica. Oh my God. So I'm going to shout out Jessica. We have a podcast together. You want to drop that link in there, Jess? It's called Thrive and Thread, and we release a new episode every 2 weeks. Filipina hosted and Filipina produced. And it's Filipino American History Month, so definitely support your Filipinas and Filipinos. Listen to our podcast, share it, subscribe it, write a review. Please help us get the word out. Yeah, and I'm teaching yoga tomorrow. Tomorrow is World Mental Health Day. So if you'd like to move your body with me, that's tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ooh, adrenaline, y'all. That was a lot of talking for me. We're at 22 minutes. Yes, girl, drop these sites. We should change that icon to like you and me, Jessica. Shout out to Jessica. If you need a photographer, graphic designer, branding, what else? If you want to support local woman of color businesses, like let's put her website on here too. I'm gonna put Harmony in. I hope that comes up. Why didn't the link come up? There it is. Did I spell that right, boo? Let me know if that's the right website. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been on here for a while, so if you are just joining, feel free to watch the replay. Actually, I really do invite you to watch the replay. I led a quick meditation, and I talk about. Oh, I didn't even give you the tips on how to reset your day. I told you what we do on the retreat. So, quick things that I do. I go out on the balcony in between classes and meetings just so I can get some vitamin D. Sometimes I'm lazy. I don't want to go down 4 flights of stairs. Yes, don't judge. So I'll go on the balcony, poke my little head out, and try to get some sun. I turn on like deep house music or electronic music and just dance my butt off and like just shake my body just to like get the body moving. That's another thing that I do. And what else do I do? I reward myself with coffee. Not that I need more, but to me, it's always a treat when I make another cup of coffee. And so those are a few things. I'd love to hear what you do to reset and refuel your day. Oh, here's a nice thing you can do. This was a call to action that I had my Root to Rise fam do last month. Was send a text message or a voice note to 3 people, just expressing your love for them, expressing your appreciation. Hey, I'm grateful for you because da 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 da. And you'll be amazed at the impact that that's going to have on the people around you. I invite you to do that with your parents, if they're still here, or your guardians, or your grandparents, or a coworker that you know is really stressed. Send them a voice note of love and encouragement. Whew. Okay, that's it. I gotta go. I love ya. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on here next Friday, I think at 1:30. as well. I'll let y'all know. I look at her. See, this is Jessica. She's so good at what she does. Take breaks, go outside, get sunlight, get your body moving, reward yourself with a treat. Send a voice. Love you, Jess. You're even producing and working when you're when you're just watching my live. I love it. She's so good at what she does, man. That's the thing. Partner with people that have different strengths from you. That's how y'all will glow up. Really. Okay. Love y'all. Have an amazing day. Sign up for yoga with me tomorrow or Dance with the Lions then. We have Catherine Eddy from DMV Shuffle Circle teaching shuffling and cutting shapes. She's amazing. And she's like viral on Instagram and TikTok. So join us. Okay? Love y'all. Bye. Love you.